Hey everybody, this is Steve.
And this is Parnell.
And this is a very spooky Halloween edition of Flippin' and Mashing. We're going to tell you about some scary games that we've played for this, this Halloween edition.
We're going to talk about us peeing ourselves and screaming and having all our family and friends make fun of us.
Maybe
No
one was making fun of me because we were all scared while we were playing. Yeah.
You didn't dress up today, Steve.
No, I did not dress up today. I'm dressing up as an employee of our company.
That's ridiculous. I did this last year, but I have the Harry Potter outfit on. I have a Harry Potter robe, a tie, Harry Potter shirt. Mm-hmm. I have my glasses on that are kind of just make me look like a nerd. Mm-hmm. And then I stole Nikki's mascara and make a little scar on my forehead. Yeah. That's my quick costume.
Well, it worked.
Fits.
It worked. There wasn't many people who actually did dress up. A lot of people just like dressed up as like a goth person or something like that.
You didn't bring a drink, but I have a Monster Rehab.
I did. I just set
lemonade.
it down outside the room. But I have a Monster Game Fuel, not Monster Game Fuel, Mountain Dew Game Fuel that I want to drink.
We had the Monster Rehab Peach yesterday, and that is disgusting.
It's not good. It's gross.
Although when we stopped from our road trip, we stopped and I got the what was it called? Mountain Dew Blacklist. Black Label.
Black Label.
That was pretty good. I don't really drink pop, but
yeah. Well, there's another reason why it tasted really good because you don't normally drink pop. Why don't you go first with one of your stories? Unless you want me to go first.
I'll go first because your story's going to take like 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. I do talk a long time.
I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast before, and I might have. But
sure.
For any new listeners, then this is going to be fresh. Mm-hmm. Like fresh meat from a dead body.
Oh, boy. Okay.
So, I did because I remember now. I remember this. So,
who cares?
When I was... PlayStation 1 just kind of came out. I didn't have that many games for it. And I went to the mall with my mom. So what was I, like 10 or 12 or something?
Okay.
And we go to the mall and there was like a KB Toys. And so we're walking around and I'm looking at... I was going to get a new PlayStation game. And I didn't know what I was going to get, but I knew I wanted a game.
Sure.
And the guy behind the counter must have been like a teenager, like an older teenager.
Sure, or maybe like young college or something.
And so, we're like, hey, what's a new game? What's a good game that's out? And he hands me Resident Evil.
And you're probably 12 or 13, something like that.
Yeah,
well,
I was 13. My mom was with me, so that's the only reason why I probably could have bought it. I mean, unless he just doesn't care about the age.
And you've never played any scary games before this?
I had only played Doom and Quake.
Okay.
But they weren't... I didn't play them enough. Like, I wasn't really good at games, so I didn't get far enough into the game where, like, monsters would jump out and scare me. Sure. Because it's just a first-person shooter. You're just walking around blowing up things.
Sure.
So, not a big deal. Mm-hmm. So, I'm all excited. And it was really expensive. It was like a $60 game. It's my first $60 game.
So, it was a brand new game, too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Resident Evil. Mm-hmm. Kind of looked good, right? We get home, I pop the game in. Huge cinematic entrance to the game, right?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, okay, it's a little scary. And get to the mansion. The game kind of starts, lets you start moving, and you see the zombie, and all of a sudden I'm like, okay. You go into the dining room.
Okay.
You see the scariness,
sure.
And then you find a new body kind of in the next room. A zombie comes and grabs you from behind, and I was like, ooh, okay. And you shoot it, and I run back to the main, like, this main hall is my sanctuary. I need to stay here. And so I pretty much walked around that main hall for, 5-10 minutes.
Try not to get scared,
yep.
just walking around in the same room. Okay.
So I go to the next door that's only open, and sure. We're walking on the hall. I'm like, oh, it's a long hall. It's not too bad.
Oh, it's empty in here. It's a nice, safe hall.
All of a sudden, this dog breaks through the window, and I fucking scream, throw the controller, and just, like, run to the next room. My mom kind of like wondered what was going on. She might have been laughing at me, but I was downstairs, which was darker, so it was daytime. So I brought
just to pause it 1 second. So when your mom was buying this game, I'm sure that the cover looks scary, right?
No.
Oh, it looks ordinary, like it just says like Resident Evil on it or something.
Yeah.
Did he describe it at all? Like, did she have any red flags anywhere?
Nope.
Okay. So no red flags. She just
the original Resident Evil.
Mhm.
Yep, I knew it was this. It's a guy holding a gun on the front, and kind of has this opaque picture of
Like hands and stuff like
no,
that.
it's spiders,
Okay.
and I don't know what's above them, but it
Alright.
just kind of looks.
But it doesn't necessarily look real scary.
It doesn't look
No, not at all,
scary.
actually.
It kind of looks like a military.
Sure. All right, so there are no red flags. Okay, go on. So she doesn't know if this is like a horror game.
No, I didn't either.
Okay. Anyways, okay, continue.
So
Dog comes through. You throw the controller. All right.
Yeah, so I bring the console upstairs so I can play in the sunlight. Right. I made it a. I made it a couple
So you're not
more
gonna
minutes.
give up. You just need a different environment that
Yeah.
you feel safer.
I made a couple more minutes and I couldn't do it. So I invited my best friend over, so he came over and I pretty much just watched him play.
Okay.
I mean, me and him would switch off, but I couldn't play without someone with me.
Sure.
So that is how we finished Resident Evil. And then I was dumb enough. Somehow I liked the game so much, even though I was scared shitless to play it.
Well, I think at that age, that's kind of part of the thing too. Like
You like me, like you don't like being scared, but you like being scared, but you don't. Yeah.
Right. You're intrigued. You want to keep going. Yeah. Go.
So I was dumb enough to then buy the director's cut of Resident Evil 1, which is the same game, but it's 2-disc, and then they I don't know if they added some story, but then all the puzzles and stuff are mixed around. So like it's not the same playthrough. It's a different playthrough of the same game.
Okay.
Then I bought Resident Evil 2, and I was super hyped for that. And that had another similar scary part in the Raccoon Police Department where they call them lickers. It's like a human spider with a super long tongue that like whiplashes your face.
Okay.
They're hanging on the ceiling, and you walk up. Same thing. You walk down the hallway, and drops from the ceiling and just like scares the crap out of you. So yeah,
So those would probably be the two scariest moments that you ever had.
those are the scariest games I've played where I was scared.
Do you have like a specific moment, or would you say the
Those
dogs?
were the moments
Okay.
where I didn't want to play it after that. But I mean, I've played Nemesis and a bunch of other Resident Evils and Resident Evil 2 and 3 by myself. They weren't super scary at that. You know, I was older. I was probably more toward end of high school. Like Code Veronica, and also there are some online Resident Evils that came out for PlayStation 2. I forgot the name of them, but one I got imported from Japan, Biohazard, something about online, and then so you only play online with people, like you can team up and. But I didn't have any scary ass moments that I had with the first. I mean, that one sticks out.
Sure.
Although after your scary story, I think we should talk about kind of like horror style, like
Movies and stuff too.
well, just games that like House of the Dead. That's not a scary game, but it's kind of zombie-ish.
Right. I feel like it's definitely a horror game. It's not really scary.
But let's just talk about
That's
scary
probably
games
its
after
intent,
that. Like,
yeah. Sure, you got it. All right, so I don't really have any. No, I take that back. There is one moment where I decided I was like, I'm not playing this game anymore because it was too much. But
My Little Pony.
right, there was too many sparkles, and I gave up entirely. No, I would say that the games that didn't necessarily scare me, but were extremely tense, and we were all like, it would be me and my friends all playing together. And maybe if it was by myself, it would be a lot more scary. But we were all young when these games first came out. For instance, the original Quake, when that came out, I had to have been very young. I can't imagine. I must have been like 8 or 7 years old or something like that. I was pretty dang young. And it was our first delve into like video games as a whole. Like we played Jazz Jackrabbit, I think, and then this.
Oh, I remember that game.
That's about the only 2 games we ever played. So we started playing these games. I guess I would have been around the Nintendo age too, but how about this? On a computer. This was the first time we ever played a video games on a computer, which was one, Jazz Jackrabbit, which was really cool. We thought that was the coolest game in the world. And then it was Quake. And Quake was the exact same thing. Like you said, like where you were scared and everything was tense, but you just kept going into it. Well, for us, we were very sheltered kids. And I know that my friends' parents did not know that this game was downloaded on their computer. Otherwise, there's no way in the world we would have been allowed to play it. For one, it was violent. We were not allowed to see violent stuff. 2, it had like monsters and like demons and stuff in it. There's no way in the world we would have been allowed to play this game or see this game. So either way, we were all hushed and quiet in this room, and we played that game like a whole entire summer. And every single time, I mean, we eventually got used to it, so it wasn't a big deal. But in the beginning, we were all just so tense. I remember us just being all hunched over, just hairs all raised.
It's easier to do it when there's a group of you.
Right. Yeah. Because, there was like 4 of us or like 5 of us all clustered around this screen as we're going through, all of a sudden just screaming as like guys are coming out, shut up, shut up, shut up. And I remember back then I thought the graphics were bad. So it goes to show like how terrible the graphics were. I can't even imagine what it looks like now if I try to go back and see it. But it was still, no matter how bad the graphics were, it was so scary. Like you go in a room like, careful. Careful, good, careful. And we go in there, and they come running at you. Shut up! But so yeah, Quake was a good one that we spent a long time at. Another game would have been there was a couple different Alien games that came out, but I think the one that I played the most that had the most tense moments like that would have been
Dead Space.
Well, no.
Oh,
I was going to say, just continuing with the Alien theme, would have been like Marines versus Aliens. Now, that game is really cool. It's like a strategy game.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's called Marines versus Aliens. And it's an above-down view. And what was tense about it, I mean, because once the aliens were there, it wasn't so bad. It was kind of terrifying because they'd keep rushing at you. But what was terrifying is you'd have your little groups of Marines out in this darkness pretty much, and you got your little cluster, and you can't see outside into the dark. All of a sudden you hear beeping, beeping, like as they're coming in closer, like on the radar, ding, 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 ding. All of a sudden you'd see like them like kind of like clustering, because you can see as they come in, the like pinpoints like their movement, and it just keeps getting more and more tense, and you're like, oh geez, they're coming for us. It just kept getting more and more tense. So that was really tense, kind of like Quake was really tense and kind of scary in that way. But I was never like terrified. Like I was always like on the edge of my seat, like, oh, they're coming, be careful. But and then of course when they come at you, they just come as like an onslaught, and then you're just shooting and just blasting away like crazy. But I would say the scariest game that I decided I'm not playing this game was Dead Space 1. I was playing Dead Space 1, and I think it was honestly like one of the very first monsters came out and attacked me, and I was like, I'm done. I just put down the controller, turned it off, took out the disc. I'm like, I'm not playing this game. But
I heard it was you're like in this spaceship by yourself.
Yeah. It didn't take me very long at all. I may have made it through a couple monsters, but it wasn't very long at all. And I just put on the controller. I was like, I don't need to do this to myself. just took out the disc. I'm like, I'm done with this game. I think I was borrowing it from a friend or something. But it has a lot to do with the fact that, like I said, I was a sheltered kid, so I didn't have a lot of these scary games, as well as I wasn't used to horror movies until just very recently. So like this was a very scary horror movie, and I'm not used to even horror movies. But I was like, I'm not doing this to myself. I just took it out. I can't handle this.
I like scary movies, but then when I get like anxious or nervous or whatever, I start talking, and then people are like, shut up. But I don't want to watch them alone. I just remembered a bunch of games that I played that scared.
Go ahead.
So I don't know, like 8 or 10 years ago, there was a coworker of mine who, me and him would always share games or play games together and stuff. And he had a first-person shooter called Fear. And I have no idea what the story premises, but
I've seen the cover. I've never seen it.
There's a little girl, kind of looks like the chick from The Ring.
Okay.
And she's kind of like a ghostly figure. That's all I know. And
it
then
probably came out around like The Ring's time, probably, because they had a lot of girls like in like movies and stuff like
sure.
that. They kept using that theme.
So I don't know the background of why she's there or what, but you're part of this like elite group going to get her. I think she might have been a weapon or something.
Sure.
And so it's a first-person shooter, and you're like a military guy or whatever, and you're infiltrating. I think the first level is a hospital, and you're on the outside, and you're like trying to get in. That is some of the scariest shit I remember playing as an adult, where I'm climbing like up a ladder, and then all of a sudden that kind of just stops, and then you just hear her talking, and you're like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And you're waiting. You're waiting for something bad to happen, and then it kind of goes away. So then you keep continuing. You're like, "Okay." So it builds up that tense. You get tense, and then it gets dropped. And you're walking around, and all of a sudden, you're in this dead hospital. There's no lights, so you have a flashlight, and it's just a shit show of tense moments of. You turn around, she's there, and then some like light flashes, and she's gone. And I'm just going, oh great, this is gonna be one of those things where something's gonna happen. I'm gonna pee my pants, wreck my gaming chair, and something did happen. I don't remember if I had like you're opening doors and kind of exploring this hospital, and then I think I went into a closet or a surgery room, and shit started flying, and I was like, I can't play this game anymore. I want to play a game and have fun. I don't want to play a game and be
scared,
be so tense and anxious.
Sure.
Like it's just gonna wreck my stomach and all this stuff. But that is a super scary game, and there's multiple fears, and they're all scary. Then recently, at work we got a PlayStation 4 with VR.
Yeah,
and I bought Resident Evil 7, and playing that in VR. It's different than all the other Resident Evils, where this is it first person? I think it might. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's definitely first person because you can see your hands and stuff like that. And I also played that with you guys. And again, it's different, one, as an adult, and two, having all of your adult friends around you who are going to mock you if you get scared. So I definitely was able to handle it a lot better because you have to man up. You know what I mean? But here, go on. You go on.
Oh, so I mean, the beginning of the game, I actually couldn't do the VR that long because it would start making me get like seasick. Yeah, I get it. So I played a lot without the headset on, and it was scary as hell. I think the scariest part actually was the fight with the dad in the garage.
That's what everybody said. I wasn't in the room at the time when that happened. You guys were all screaming.
Really
so I came
intense.
Running over,
yeah,
I didn't see it.
But when you're running around the house and the dad's chasing you and stuff, it's tense and scary-ish, but you're not super frightened. You just are trying to get away because you hear them, and so that's the whole point of the game, is to keep you on your toes.
Sure.
And just stay, because you don't have that many weapons. So the whole point is to like hide and make sure you don't run into them.
Right.
Given there's always the times you do.
Right.
So I actually played it and got, I don't know, maybe halfway through the game. I got to the next house with the mom or the grandma chasing you. And then I got to the swamp house, and she kind of follows. She's like a crazy witch. She follows you. And then I don't remember if I got stuck or we just kind of got busy, but yeah, it's a good scary game. But the most fun I had was there's a mode in it where it's a short style puzzle where there was a multiple they released with the packs that they with those ones like DLC with the game.
Yeah.
One of them was you're locked in a bed, and the mom would come in and bring you food and get pissed. And
so are you strapped to the bed?
Yep, and you have to get out of the bed, and then you have to solve puzzles to open another entrance to get somewhere else to get out.
All probably trying to be really quiet and stuff.
Yeah, you have to be quiet, and she comes back every so often, so you have to like jump back in the bed. And you and actually that was super fun, and there was multiple versions of that, and I haven't finished them, but that was a really fun one because it's not scary per se, but it's definitely, it has some tense where you're trying to get back or trying to find the puzzles.
Sure, it sounds extremely tense. Everything's time based / fear based. So
yeah. Otherwise, I remember I popped in Biohazard or Bioshock, and I don't know if it was scary, but there was.
It was.
Okay, so then
maybe our listeners are just rolling their eyes.
Yeah,
like, it is not fucking scary.
These guys suck at gaming.
But Bioshock, it kept me away from it. Like I looked at that, you got the little tiny girl in it. You're definitely in this extremely creepy environment. I watched other people play it, and that made me decide I'm not playing this game.
So I started it. Something creepy happened. I was like, nope, don't feel like I'm in the mood to play this. So
because it was when we had that gaming store. We had all those screens up all the time.
Sure.
And I saw multiple people playing it, and I was watching it one time trying to decide, because I've been told over and over and over again that Bioshock is really, really cool. And this was out when it This happened when it was like brand new. So I started watching. I'm like, I'm never playing this game.
People kept saying it wasn't that bad, but there
Well,
was a bunch of creepy moments. It's like
Right,
I don't want to be
right. That's why I'm sure like our listeners are just rolling their eyes. But
I heard it's a great game, or the story or something's good.
Everyone loves it. Everyone says it's like one of the most epic video games ever created. But I have no interest in it.
Oh, Hydro Thunder is one of the most epic games ever made.
That's true.
I don't get scared to play it.
No, you don't.
I know another one is Condemned and System Shock, which is System Shock's an older game, but I heard that's scary.
There was System Shock reminds me. What does it look like?
Here's the original. This is from '94, so this is way old.
I don't think that's what I'm thinking of.
Another planet.
But there was a game that my
space.
brother and I we got it. You know, back when PlayStation would give you those demos all the time.
Yeah.
PlayStation Underground.
I wonder if I still have those.
So we had gotten a demo for some like telepathic game where you were like a prisoner who was breaking free, and you were breaking free because they were experimenting on you and testing stuff on you, and you were given these powers. I don't remember the name of the game at all, but you had like pyrotechnics and telepathy. They all kind of had the same ending of the word. Yeah, pyrokinetics, telekinetics, and all this different stuff. And so you could kill people in all these unique ways. So it's basically up to you to figure out how to kill everybody. Light them on fire, throw them against a wall, shock them.
Was it Galerians?
You could break into their mind. What does it look like? No, definitely not.
Okay.
You're a male. You break into their mind and you can rip them apart, like from their own head, like have them kill other people and stuff like that. So, and it was always like this really creepy music. It was all like dark lit. It always felt like very very creepy. I think we played it all the way through, the demo. But that was really creepy.
Was it
game.
PsyOps?
Yes.
That's PlayStation 2 though.
No, but that was it. And again, I'm sure people are just rolling their eyes like PsyOps is not scary, you stupid little scrub.
Well, that's the hard part is everything's opinion based, right? Like something to me is scary because I'm not into horror, but someone else thinks that it's child's play.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody has their own thing. But even like Metal Gear Solid got scary to me at some points.
Metal Gear Solid has...
There's like some scary...
If it's not scary, it's at least very creepy. How about that?
Creepy. It's very intense. You're sneaking around or you have a fight with Psycho Mantis or something. I mean, there's parts where it was very tense or... I don't know. The fear of being caught.
Sure. The Arkham Knight series has some scary moments. Like, there's this one time... And it's more of a jump scare. But you're flying around. You land on this building. As you go to climb up, Man-Bat comes over the edge and like screams in your face. It was absolutely terrifying. I know that everybody, when that happens, like screams and freaks out because I've seen like a bunch of other like clips on YouTube of people freaking out when that happens. Because you have no idea, you're not expecting it at all. You're just moving around the city like normal.
Oh, sure.
And it happens to be like proximity based. Like if you land on this building, then like activates Man-Bat to like attack you kind of thing, and he just comes screaming right in your face like rah! And it's intense, that's for sure. It definitely got me. I jumped like a son of a gun. But
do you have any other games? Like I have a couple that I just off the top of my head that are kind of Halloween horror themed, like Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 and House of the Dead, where they're kind of zombie or horror games that you remember that are good games.
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, obviously, everyone knows about the Resident Evil series. You have
but
Silent Hill
that you liked.
Oh, that I liked.
Yeah, like games that you remember playing. That like Left 4 Dead. I remember playing with a bunch of friends all the time. Like we would group up as 4 players on Xbox and we just played.
I didn't really play Left 4 Dead that much. I played it a little bit. It was okay. I guess I like zombie games. So
how did you not play Left 4 Dead?
I never owned it, I think.
But I had an Xbox.
I just never owned it.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. I wasn't interested in buying it. I don't know. I was never interested in buying it, so it never got my money. I don't know. But I really liked playing all of the different zombie modes in the Call of Duties. Those are some of my favorite stuff.
I remember,
modes.
I remember. I think like World at War was one of the first ones or something, and
I don't know if that's what it was called. Was it called World at War?
There's the Call of Duty World at War, and then
was the first one that had the zombies.
Yeah.
Okay.
It had the kind of the Pacific battle theme, and then.
Well, I know that the zombies that came at you were Nazis. The first time that they ever had zombies, but I feel like that was in maybe like Black Ops 1 or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, the first zombies, known as Nazi zombies, is a game mode in Treyarch's Call of Duty World at War.
Okay, so you're right.
I remember playing that a lot. I think the hardest part was that was kind of like a single map.
You're just in a house, yeah.
And me and my buddy played, and so we'd always get 2 randoms, and we just never made it really far because someone would either time out or quit, and then
Sure.
if you don't have the 4 people, you're really not getting very far.
Sure.
But I enjoyed it. I like that kind of gameplay though, like the co-op. It's like Salmon Run on Splatoon.
Mm-hmm.
You get or the Horde mode on.
Yeah, I played that specific zombies game a lot. I also played like the alien version because there was one game instead of having zombies they had aliens and stuff like that. That was okay. It wasn't as good as the zombies.
Didn't Halo have a version of that, like in ODST? I
Oh,
think they did.
No, what they have is
There was waves of.
you would infect somebody else and then they would become like
No, there
zombie
was
creatures.
in ODST. There was some like wave mode.
Oh yeah, well that was ODST. ODST's
Okay.
their multiplayer was all wave based.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
But you're just fighting against the Covenant. The Covenant aren't scary.
Yeah.
Oh, what is scary is the Flood in the very first Halo.
Oh, yes, you're right.
That's super scary.
I remember, going through a ship, and it's like, what is this weird
the
spore
very
crap?
first time I ever played Halo, and you see the Flood for the very first time, that's definitely like horror orientated. So I know that it scared the pants off of me and my brother at least, but we pushed through it. Obviously, we loved it. It was one of our favorite games of all time.
Oh, that's a good.
But I guess I would never think of that as scary because the rest of the game you're fighting against the Covenant. So, but it has moments in it that are very
because even like
tense
Destiny 2 and stuff have moments
that's
of
true.
a little bit of a scare where you go down this cavern, and then it's demon things come freaking flying out.
Sure. Yeah, because they try to do that quite a bit. Where you land in a cave or something like that, and they have
and then
those,
like they'll come
zombie
behind you.
creatures come flying at you.
Like they'll kind of get you from behind, and
they're called the Scorn now or whatever.
God, I had something else and I forgot. Oh, didn't you rent the new Call of Duty?
Yes.
Did you play the new Zombie?
Yes.
How was it?
It's god awful.
What?
It's terrible.
But they hyped that
It's
up.
terrible. I'll tell you what. This is why I think it's terrible, and it might have just been my game. Because I actually talked to somebody else, and they said they didn't have this issue. When I was trying to shoot people, did I not talk about this on our podcast at all?
No, I don't remember.
I played both.
Let's just try to talk about the zombies.
Okay,
thing.
fine, sure. So just the zombies mode for me did not work well. So I would take a shotgun, shoot somebody in the chest, and it wouldn't impact right away. There was a slight delay, so I assume I didn't hit him. So then I started unloading more shots on him. And then finally, like those shots start connecting like later, so then he goes down. But I've already wasted extra shots. I hit him the very first time, but now I'm wasting more shots trying to shoot technically a dead body that's still running at me.
Were you at your new place of living? when you
Yeah,
rented it?
but
I just wanted, because if you had an internet problem,
it could have been.
because that's an online.
You're right. It is online. I was just about to say it's offline, but it's not because you're playing with other people. But I played, I think, 3 rounds, and I kept having issues. The only time that I was actually really enjoying myself was when I had like an Uzi or a machine gun, something that had like rapid fire, because when you're hosing somebody, you're hosing them with bullets, so you don't really necessarily know which one is hitting them.
Oh, like yeah.
So it's,
So the delay doesn't affect you as
right.
much as like
you
a
don't
shotgun.
notice the delay when you're just hosing somebody with bullets. But like if I had a pistol or a rifle or a shotgun and I'm trying to hit somebody, I don't know if I've hit them because it doesn't react right away. So I was getting super pissed. I just turned it off. It was like this game mode, to me at least, is broken and
So
unplayable.
if the delay wasn't there, would you like?
Well, I've seen other people like on Twitch and stuff like that play it, and they were they were getting a lot further than I was because I died fairly early on. Like you start out in this like Coliseum thing, which is weird.
Yep.
And then you move from the Coliseum to these other rooms, and you can keep unlocking different rooms. You can kind of sprawl out in different ways. So I think that this is supposed to be the deepest, largest, biggest zombies mode ever. Whereas before, like we've been in a house or in an area where you can unlock a few doors and get in a little bit bigger area. This you can kind of go in any direction you want. They'll have like a door over here that you can unlock, or a door over there that you can break down. You know, after you get enough points from killing zombies and stuff like that. So it looks like it's a very large, sprawling game mode, but I didn't really get to experience much of it, so I didn't really get to enjoy it. And it all came down to the fact the gameplay wasn't working for me. If I shoot you, you're supposed to go down. But if I shoot you and then there's like a half a second delay, and I've already unleashed a bunch more bullets or whatever, or I don't know if I've even hit you in the first place because it's not reacting, it's not fun. So I just stopped playing, and it didn't have that issue when I was playing the other modes.
Oh, man.
So that's why I was confused. And
that was when the game first came out, though, right?
Correct.
Yeah, it could have had some server problems.
So I did talk to somebody else about it, and they said that they did not have that issue, and they really enjoyed it, and they suggested I try it again to see if I still have that problem. But
so what are you going to do? Are you going to try it again, or
no?
Oh.
No, because
time to move on already?
No, because as a whole, I thought Black Ops wasn't a good game in the first place.
Well, that's right. It's tied to Black Ops.
Right. It's not just the zombies. It's you got Black Ops, just the regular online. What is the word? The regular multiplayer, and then you have Blackout, which was the main reason why I rented it.
Oh yeah, the big Royale.
Right. From all the commercials and trailers that I had seen, it looked epic. And then I played it, and I thought, nah, I'm not interested. I don't think this is fun. All it made me want to do was play Destiny. Because I was like, Destiny seems so much more entertaining than this.
Well,
you live and learn.
Yep. I haven't played Call of Duty since, I don't know, man. It's been a while. Because it just got too much for me. And now the new one looks way too much. It's almost like Fortnite, where it's too many things. It's more for the younger kids that like the over-exaggerated arcade kind of play.
A lot of people, millions of people are playing the game, but it's not for me.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, I guess you're a bad video gamer.
Well, there's that too.
What about movies? I have a couple movies that literally scared me, and now I still remember it and have nightmares.
There's a lot. I mean, the Ring series.
Do you remember when that first came out?
Oh yeah,
I
was all a part.
I was in college.
Yeah,
I remember watching it.
I was part of that hype.
That freaked me out.
I watched all three of those as they came out.
Did you watch the original Japanese ones?
No.
Oh, those are a little weird.
No, I never saw those ones. But there was also a movie with Johnny Depp in it where he's a writer, and he is like the characters that he writes, like he starts like becoming them kind of thing. Like they like take over his mind, and he starts killing people. Well, first of all, they think it's like somebody else who's attacking him, and it happens to be him inside of him, like doing this shit. He just doesn't know it. Like whenever he goes,
so it's one of those mind games.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
And that movie had some very scary moments in it.
We should probably find the name of it.
And
Johnny Depp.
Yeah. I forced my brother and his young little friend to watch it when they were really young.
That was bad.
It was really bad.
Was it Sweeney Todd?
No, not Sweeney Todd. It was afterwards. He was like a writer. It was after he was very famous. Like Sweeney Todd, I think, is before he was famous.
So is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh no, Sweeney Todd is later. No. So yeah, Sweeney Todd is actually after he was famous. Edward Scissorhands is what I'm thinking of. Is before he was famous. Like that was his like first.
Yeah, role, I've seen that a few times. So,
it's called it's not called The Quiet Place, but it's like The Silent or something, or The Quiet, or I don't know.
I'll keep looking.
Sure. Anyways, I forced my brother and his young, like his best friend, to watch this movie, thinking that it would terrify them. Like me and my buddy thought we had him, because we watched it and we thought it was scary. Well, they watched it and they loved it, we had the absolute opposite effect as we thought it was going to have on them. They thought it was so cool that they went around and they would just quote it and talk about it the entire time.
They backfired on you.
Completely backfired on us. Like, it was like their cult from that point forward. They like loved that movie. They talk about it all the time.
What's Eating Gilbert Grape? I'm not finding it. I see like
That's fine.
Donnie Brasco.
No. It's
Sleepy Hollow, the man who created.
No. Sleepy Hollow, that's kind of a scary movie. It's a Halloweenish movie. It's not really that scary. I like
The
Sleepy
Ninth
Hollow
Gate.
a lot. It's called like I swear it's like called like the Silent Hill or Silent House or something like that. I don't know. Or like the Quiet Place or whatever.
Secret Window.
It's The Secret Window.
Is it?
It's The Secret Window.
Oh yeah, because he had the glasses like a writer.
Right. Yeah.
The writer's accused of plagiarism by a strange man who starts haunting him for justice,
But it
aka
happens to
himself.
Correct.
That's kind of interesting.
It's a really good movie. It's actually a very, very good movie.
It's from 2004.
But the movie that did scare them, so we did that, and that didn't scare them. So then we sat them down and we forced them to watch The Ring. Like, I held his head.
Wow, that's nice
kid.
of you.
I was a mean kid. I held his head. That way he had to stare forward. Like, and I wish I would have like had the knowledge, like, you know, like whenever like the phone rings afterwards, like after they watch the scary video, the phone rings and like, what does it say? Does it say like 10 more days or something like that?
Yeah, it kind of does this weird like creepy countdown.
I don't remember what it is, but yeah, either way, the phone rings. I know that much. Well, if I would have thought about it, I would have done that, or had like the lights turn out, or anything else to help exponentiate the whole entire terror moment. But I didn't. I just had them watch that, and that alone was enough to like fuck them up for a while. they were messed up for a long time after that. So I was very successful in my attempt, but then I felt really bad. I was like,
good. Just wait till you do it
I
to your
shouldn't
kid.
have done this. I shouldn't have done this. This was really, really mean. What it was is because I went over the top because The Secret Window completely backfired on me and it didn't scare him at all. So I found this extremely scary movie that was absolutely terrifying to me. Forced him to watch it, and then like my brother was done. He did not want to watch it anymore, and then I just held his head like, "You're watching this movie," and it just I feel so bad about it now. I feel really bad about it now.
I hope so. The first movie that I used to, when I was like in high school, I used to go to the movie store on Halloween. When I was too old to trick or treat, I used to just go rent a bunch of scary movies. So I remember I rented. What's the movie where that chick walks backwards down the stairs and barfs?
What?
She like spider walks backwards down the stairs.
I don't know. I can't.
The Exorcist.
Yeah.
And I watched that for the first time when I was older,
Sure.
and I laughed, right? Because
It's old.
it's old. It was scary at the time it came out, but not like in the current day. Like that, a TV series is
I'm sure if I saw the old it's probably not scary at all.
and it's the same thing with, I guess, what's that one with Red Rum?
What?
And Johnny, what's his face? Jack Nicholson.
Oh, here's Johnny. That
Yeah.
one? No. Yeah, I've never seen that.
That actually still is a little scary. That's a good one. Okay. But I would rent those, and I'd watch like two or three of those on Halloween. But when I was in college, I was living in an apartment there was 4 of us guys, and my girlfriend and I at the time went and saw the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Mm-hmm. The one with Jessica Biel.
Oh, I have no idea. I just know it wasn't the original.
No,
It was
I know
the
what
next.
you're talking about.
It was the scariest fucking movie I've ever seen in my life. That I've sat through.
Sure.
I was scared for the next week because I was the first one up in my apartment. So not only do I get home and it's late, I have to turn every fucking light on in the apartment to be able to walk around. So I go to the bathroom, every light is on. I'm in the shower in the morning and I'm trying to be quiet. There's not enough light going on in the bathroom. Every noise I hear, I think someone's coming to kill me in the shower. I did that for a week.
I think the movie that messed me up the most was, I think, like Hostel. Did you ever see Hostel?
No, but I've heard of it.
It's a really gross movie. I watched it partly because I was told, well, yeah, one, it was scary, blah 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 blah. But I was told that like it had like a bunch of naked chicks in it or something like that.
Yeah, so now you're gonna go.
So I was like, oh well, I mean, sugar with your salt. We'll try this out over here. And so I went and watched it, and then I was messed up for a while afterwards because like I don't know, just like going to my car or whatever, I was always scared that like I don't know what's looking at me, what's gonna come after me, like to kidnap me or whatever. I'm gonna end up in one of these places. It's really unreasonable to even be thinking like that, I guess, but nonetheless, it had me looking over my shoulder or being very cautious for a long time after that. I don't know. I enjoy some zombie movies a lot.
There's some really good ones. Like, I used to have a drinking one with... There was one where they did a lot of headshots.
Not sure what you're referring to.
There was a zombie movie. They had a lot of headshots. Maybe like the something days or something.
Oh, what is it called? Not 21. Is it called 28 days?
28
days
it wasn't
later?
really. Maybe it was scary.
You know what? That's the reason. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. I think it is called 28 Weeks Later.
But then they kind of had a couple of them, right? There was like days and weeks.
28 Days Later. I tried to watch that. That was too much for me. It was what it was. Is it wasn't that it was so scary. It was really creepy, and it was the creep factor that turned me off. And I was like, I feel gross. I don't want to watch this anymore. But it was 28 weeks later, and I might be saying the number wrong. Maybe it's like 21 or whatever. But I'm pretty sure it's 28 weeks later, and it's zombies, and the opening scene is horrifically terrifying to me. But after that, I think it's really, really cool. Because like, there's this guy from SWAT. He's also Hawkeye. What's his name?
Avengers? I don't remember his name.
Hawkeye from Avengers and stuff like that. He's in it, and he's like this military guy, and he's like a hero. And I was very impressed. He's like a sniper. He was shooting down all these different people, and he tries to save this family or group of kids or whatever, get them out of there. And I was very impressed with it. And he was like pushing this. I remember like the last scene that you see of him is he's pushing this car with all the kids in it, and because it's out of power or whatever, and he's shoving it forward. And then all the zombies are coming at him, and he like smiles at the kid, whatever, and then he like pushes it really hard, and they like get away because it's like going down this hill or something like that, or maybe finally got jumped or was going, and then like all the zombies get him, but like the mist goes over the top of him, so you don't actually see like them like ripping him apart and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but he just was like a really big hero at the time, like he's like shoving him away. So I really enjoyed that movie.
So in college we made it a drinking game. So every headshot we would take a drink.
Well, there's 1,000 headshots.
That's what I mean.
Game.
Yeah, you got messed up.
Yeah, there's a ton of headshots in that thing.
I like The Walking Dead a lot.
Is that
the first 3 seasons?
Is that the same movie where they're sitting on top of the mall for a long time, shooting down?
I don't remember, dude. It's been
because there was a time period where like a bunch of zombie movies.
Yeah, exactly. There's been way too many zombie movies, and it's been way too long for me to remember specifics of each.
Because there's one where they're stuck in a mall and they get up on top of a mall.
I've seen it. I remember that.
It might be the same one. I don't know.
The Walking Dead, like I said, was good. Season 1, 2, 3, I thought were good, and then they started kind of getting repetitive. Where they,
maybe
I made it to 4 or 5, but it kind of started getting to be the same and over and over.
Yeah. As a whole, I'm an advocate for The Walking Dead, and I think it's a good series. But I'm bored of it now. They can run as many seasons as they want going forward. I have no interest in watching any more. Like, I'm done. I had my fun with this series. I'm not interested at all anymore in whatever you could be giving me. The series that I hate is Fear the Walking Dead.
Oh, that was horrible. I crushed through
garbage.
The first season just because I wanted.
I did the same thing.
And it was garbage.
I forced myself to watch the whole first season. Like, it'll get better. It'll get better. Just kept watching every single episode. Like, oh, maybe the next one will be better. Made it to the whole entire season that way, and it never got better. And then season 2 starts, and then they completely ended it for me. Like, the one kid thinks that zombies are still alive or whatever, and I was so angry with him. I was like, you know what, fuck you. You need to die. You need to die because you're so blatantly stupid, deliberately stupid. I hope that you die. And they never killed him. They made him like a higher priority main character, and it made me so mad. Like, okay, you're making this, the son.
Oh, yeah.
They made him like the main character of the series, and I was over it. I'm like, if you're making this lunatic the main character, who I think everybody in the audience hates right now, then I'm at least on like my own little tiny protest. I'm done. I'm out.
The Walking Dead pinball is actually really fun.
I'm sure it is. What is that one game called that has like the multiple levels underneath?
Haunted House?
Yeah.
Haunted House is the 3 levels. It's an 80s Gottlieb.
And I think that's a really cool game.
Have you played it though?
I have played it.
Oh, at the candy shop.
At the candy shop. It is their version is really
that game
dirty.
is set up really bad though. Yeah.
Well, that's
the
why
idea of Haunted House is really good.
Correct. And I guess that's what it is I understand that their version is dirty, not well maintained, but I can see its potential. Mm-hmm. The fact that it has multiple layers and levels, all like you can see through like what. So it's three layers deep.
Well, no. I mean, there's one main playfield and there's one below it and one above it, like a mini lower, mini upper.
Oh, okay. I guess I thought it was like somehow like 2 layers down.
No,
like a sub and a subfloor even below that.
You're being ridiculous.
Okay, I guess I am. Okay. but in my head it was even cooler than I actually.
There's actually a Ghostbusters version on there where I'm assuming it was on Android too, but I have it on my iPhone.
They just modify it.
They rethemed Haunted House into a Ghostbusters game.
That's a cool idea.
And it was free for a little while at least, and I have it on my phone, but it's okay. It's like Black Hole. It's like kind of that wide body, old and slow, but there's a lot of people that love it. There's Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula pinball machine that is actually really fun based off the movie. But there's like a red mist multi-ball or a mist multi-ball where there's a magnet under the playfield and the ball gets locked to it, and then the magnet drags the ball across the playfield.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know any other game that's done anything similar.
That's really cool.
And then you try to hit that ball off the magnet.
So you have your own ball still to play with while that's doing that?
Yeah, you try to hit that ball off, and then a missed multi-ball starts.
Very cool.
But it's just the playfield. They thin the playfield out in that line that the magnet takes, so it holds the ball and brings it. So if you played the game, you had no idea there's a magnet under the playfield.
That's really cool.
That's pretty sweet.
And obviously Monster Bash.
Ooh, Monster Bash! That's a fun one because it's very lighthearted and it's about bringing monsters to rock,
right,
with instruments. But definitely monstery.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's based on Universal's license. So
it is. Well,
oh yeah, because A Creature from the Black Lagoon and Frankenstein.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Do you have any plans tonight?
Yeah, we're gonna go trick or treating with my sons. The one little one's just going to get all bundled up in like a little dinosaur costume, and the other one is going to be Slimer. It is a
He loves Slimer.
He loves Slimer. He is it's like an air-filled costume.
Oh, yeah. Like those T-Rex ones and stuff.
Yeah. So he blows up and turns this little tiny fat Slimer, and he loves it. He thinks it's super cool.
He'll probably wear it every day now.
Probably. He thinks it's epic.
Are you just doing the neighborhood, or what are you doing?
Yeah, go around the grandparents' house.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know, like, at the college, they have it at the dorms and stuff, so the kids get just mega candy because it's just dorm room after dorm room. Like,
I know that
more than an apartment.
I know that our children's museum here in town is also having some kind of Halloween event, so I'm maybe taking them there as well.
That's just too much traffic. Although
that is the problem. With all these different cool events, well, everybody's going there because they're really cool.
Yeah.
So it'd be fun. Like, let's say if it starts raining or something like that, I might pull that out. But we'll see what happens.
My mom made a little piggy outfit for my daughter.
Cool. Wait, is it like piggy as in like Kermit the Frog and piggy?
No, just a pig. Just a pig.
Gotcha.
Like a little whatever.
A piglet.
Yep, piglet. And so we'll bundle her up. And we're going to go trick-or-treat to a couple neighbors' house. She's 11 months old, so she has no idea what the hell's going on.
Right.
But we'll trick-or-treat to a couple places, neighbors around us, and then to her grandparents that are local. to us, just so they can see her. And then I think me and my wife are gonna watch a couple. She's okay. She doesn't like scary movies, but she said, "Well, we can watch some really old scary movies." And I'm talking black and white,
Sure.
like the original Draculas and Frankenstein. I kind of want to watch the young Frankenstein because it's kind of funny.
Well, those movies are definitely not going to be scary. They're just going to be more like retro. I don't know, just classic feeling. I don't know.
So that's my plan. I love old school retro stuff. So the black and white movies, awesome.
Cool.
So I'm all down for that.
Very cool. I have no idea what I'm gonna. I am gonna end up watching something. I know that. I don't know what it's gonna be yet, though. We'll figure it out.
Maybe there's a Star Wars haunted house.
Oh, there's always John Constantine of some form. I can watch one of those.
Yeah, you could start the TV show.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I've already seen it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I've already seen the whole.
Hey, maybe you could watch Fear the Dead season 2.
I'd rather chop off a nut. But
wow, you caught me off guard. You scared my laugh.
All right.
All right. Well, we're gonna get back to scaring our employees.
All right. You guys have a great Halloween. See you later.
Trick or treat safely.